And welcome in there, Jims and Jimettes, to another exciting episode of the DAAAgenerates podcast, episode 145 on the docket. My name's Nick Johnston, coming to you over here, chilling after the fun little week 14. Didn't have to worry about the Bears all too much, so that was nice. Crazy final battle, Ring of Honor. That was an exciting card. Unfortunately, didn't watch it. I know Bill got to watch it. You can maybe talk about that. I'm gonna deep dive maybe on Wednesday about it when I get a chance to watch it, of course. But had some wrestling, a little bit of MLB to talk about as well. I think there was a little bit of movements. I'm sure tons of fantasy to also get into. A lot of our everyone's playoffs is right around the corner, and then maybe this Monday night is just important to you as it is for I don't know just anybody else. So like I said, welcome in. I'll welcome in my co-host over here. Wow, Bill Kralis, how the hell are you?
Hey, we're doing good. Happy Monday, everybody.
Woo woo
I
woo.
know going back to episode 144, we said the Bears weren't going to lose this weekend, and somehow they still lost, falling a little bit in their draft positioning. So,
Oh, that's
bye
unfortunate.
week, Bears still lose. Unfortunately, we're trying to get a little bit of help there from the fucking the Broncos almost pulled one off against the Chiefs.
Hey,
We
the
got a little
Rams helped
help.
us out. They
Yeah, I
won
know
on
we did. We got a
Thursday.
little bit of help. We got a little bit of help Thursday night. Rams with a fucking comeback win. Actually, when we start talking about football, I want to talk about that game fucking first and foremost because that was actually one of the craziest endings we've seen in a fucking while for a football game. So, uh, other than that, we're doing fucking good. Like Nick said, fantasy playoffs right around the corner for everybody. So, best of luck to everybody who's going to be making the playoffs. I know Nick, our good friend Mike, Chucky the Cheesehead Provolone, was telling me about his situation in your guys' league and
Yeah.
all the different situations that are gonna fucking unfold tonight. Who's in, who's out. It might go to fucking first tiebreaker, second tiebreaker, third
So
tiebreaker. Who's got the biggest dick?
so like I said,
It's
I'm
insane.
sure he went over it, but our one there was a three-way tie for second. One guy that was tied there. He's won. He's gonna be 8-6 for sure. He doesn't have anybody going on this Monday night game, and his opponent doesn't have anybody not going tonight. However, another person who has the tiebreaker over him in the second spot, if they win tonight, it all comes down to Nick Folk. They need about
Oh,
8 points, 8 solid points out of Nick Folk will put them into second place, giving them the second bye week. I have the first one. I'm in first place in the league, luckily, so I'm digging that. I still kind of wanted to win. I wanted to put up some points and uh maybe just shake things up a little bit and come playoff spot. But yeah, I think if Mike wins, he's in. He needs AJ to that's also the thing. AJ need that's the guy. Nick Folk, uh, or the guy who's going has Nick Folk going. He would need eight points to get in.
oh,
AJ needs
jeez.
a win to get into the playoffs possibly, and he also needs some points for. So I don't believe he has anybody else going tonight. It was insane. So maybe if you checked out the fantasy episode that I put up, you can maybe deep dive in on us. That's
Yeah, he
basically
was
that's what's
he was
following. Yeah.
explaining it all to me last night and all the fucking if this, if that, if this, if that. Best time of the year right now.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, and
we all
like
talk about the
yeah,
beginning of the year when we draft and fantasy football is underway. I'd say, arguably this time of the year when you're in the playoffs or you're right on that bubble and you're about to fucking eke in, that's also the best fucking time of the year for fantasy football. So
absolutely.
anybody who's in, best of luck. Anyone who's not, get fucking better and maybe tune into the Degenerates podcast and the fucking Des Nuts fucking fantasy show, and maybe you'll make your leagues next year or make your leagues playoffs next year.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said over there, we don't necessarily shoot the shit and like as of like oh who should you add who should do this. I mean maybe you just pick up on the trends like what we do what we've added and shit like that. We just talk about each other's teams. I mean again it is what it is. It's not really the advice show. There's tons of shows for that. So this is just a talking shit show about our
Yeah.
fucking thing. So it's fun. It's fun for us. We enjoy it. So I mean yeah, like I said, we got our little rundown of week 14 games that intrigued us. A couple, like I said, a couple MLB movements, a little bit of moves since last time we met, and a little bit of wrestling to cap it off. But uh I watched something fun last night. Really cool. And I mean, I don't mean to plug anything. And it doesn't really matter for the fucking X amount of people that listen to us over here. So, if you if you just whatever, maybe you straggled along and stuck with it. Maybe if you were an Adult Swim fan slash just a Rick and Morty fan, you watched the season finale, and then you saw in your program, your TV guide, your channel guide, it's like Adult Swim's Yule log. What the hell is that? It was 2 hours long, and it was TVMAL or TVMA, and you're like, a 2 hour Yule log, just a visual of a fire shouldn't be like a vision, like a language oriented and all that stuff. So again, if you went on to watch it, it was kind of crazy. Have you ever watched one of those things like jokingly you can put it on like on demand or on YouTube, just the crackling fire, and you like put it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
'Cause
exactly
my
how it
grandparents
started
used to
off.
do that for like Christmas Day. Like
Exactly.
they'd either put on like the 24-hour music channel or they put
Yeah.
on like the fake wood or the fake fire on the TV.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So this was
yeah.
this is exactly how it started off. And Adult Swim's done tons of pranks slash like, oh, what the like, what is this? Like, if you like, I feel like I'm on acid, and even though I haven't touched anything, it was like, again, like the viral thing of too many cooks. It was like, oh, this show is gonna be cool. Oh, it's just the opening credits. Oh, that's the entire thing. So it was kind of that. I think it was actually there was some draws in, or what some Easter eggs actually of Too Many Cooks. There was a couple actors from that in there. Something very fun to watch if you were able to catch it. Luckily enough, it was intriguing. Anywhere from it reminded me of the movie Rubber. If you, it was that haunted wheel going around killing people. So I'll kind of leave it at that to leave out spoilers and stuff like that. It got crazy anywhere from uh the log was everywhere, and just I don't know, just everyone was crazy. Again, I don't want to be like spoiler alert, and just kind of it was great. It was something weird. Again, if you're into that, if you were able to catch it, or you just clicked off of it and like, oh, this is just gonna be a crackling fire for 2 hours. No, I'm out. You missed out on something funny. So it was definitely intriguing. Did you have anything else, anything special going on?
Yeah, I had one other little, sort of feel good story that I came across the other day,
Oh
and
shoot.
it's sort of close to home here. Nothing to do with sports, but a little bit to do with the Chicagoland area. And hold on, let me pull up this information real quick. So, I know Nick, you're not big on the TikTok. I like going on TikTok every once in a while. Just scrolling on there. I got my certain music people or sports guys or gambling guys that I follow. I watch some of their TikToks. And 99% of the shit on there is just absolute fucking cancer. But every once in a while you come across that 1%, the real funny TikTok, the diamond in the rough, the special, heartwarming TikTok. And that's exactly what I came across this weekend. Over the weekend, Friday, Saturday. Um, a TikTok went viral. It was posted last Friday. And it was a little taco stand. I don't know if you heard about this. It was a taco stand in Glenview, Illinois. The taco stand is called Taco Bout Joys. The owner's name is Joy. They want to talk about her taco, so Taco Bout Joys. Pretty clever name there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a little 7-second clip in a very small family-owned restaurant, and it was just the owner Joy sitting in a chair in the dining room, and she was just sitting there not working, and the caption was, it absolutely breaks my, it was the daughter who recorded it, and the caption was, it absolutely breaks my mom's heart to see her sitting here in an empty dining room not serving people food, because that's their job, that's their livelihood. And as a business owner, that's what you want. You want a full dining room, you want people in your restaurant. And from what I've understand, they've been struggling lately. Not many people have been going in there ordering food. So this girl's daughter made this TikTok, posted it. In less than 24 hours, this TikTok got over 5 million views. And not only did it get over 5 million views, sorry, it wasn't last Friday. It was middle of the week last week when it was posted. And by Friday, they said that they had did 12 times the revenue that they had did the entire year up to that TikTok
That's
being posted,
crazy.
which is absolutely crazy. The TikTok community, nationwide got involved in this thing. People from just off the top of my head, a lady from Colorado, a lady from California, a guy that lives down in Alabama, some people down on the East Coast. I got into this wormhole and I was like researching this shit for like an hour the other night. Um, People were just retweeting and reposting this video and sort of just getting it out to their followers. Hey, if you're going to Chicago, if you're in the Chicagoland area, if you're anywhere near Glenview, Illinois, go check out this taco stand. And people have been taking this original TikTok and reposting it and like stitching it, that's what it's called on TikTok, with their own reviews of them going to the restaurant. And like I said, this TikTok just went absolutely viral. And it turned around this family's life, and it turned around this family's business. And we see all this ugly shit go on social media on a daily basis, all the fucking the shit that's going on with Twitter recently. Everyone's fucking verified now, all the nasty shit, all the nasty comments you see on any form of social media. And just to see something like this, especially around the holidays, a nice little family owned business here in the Chicagoland area, sort of benefit from the positives of social media. It was really awesome to see. So the place is called, again, Taco Bout Joys in Glenview, Illinois. They're closed on Sundays and Mondays, but up in Glenview, like I said, I'm actually starting a new job up in Glenview in a couple weeks, so I'm definitely gonna go check this place out. If you got nothing to do, if you're in the Glenview area, anybody listening, and you want to go try some killer Mexican food, stop about this place, put it on your fucking TikTok, on your Twitter, do something. Like I said, I came across this video the other day that went absolutely viral. Um, in this day and age where you don't see a lot of good stuff like that on social media, it was refreshing to see something nice and heartwarming like that.
No, that sounds absolutely awesome. I would have to definitely
Yeah.
try it myself. He's
Yeah, I'm planning on going up there. Next time I'm in the Glenview area, I'm stopping there and getting tacos. And everybody's been reposting and making their own TikToks of them at this place. For anyone who lives in our area, it's like Gene and Jude's right now. Like there is a line out the door every day since this video went viral of people just ordering and waiting to get their Mexican food. So there's one little 7-second video absolutely, changed his family's lives, and it's awesome to see.
yeah, no, absolutely. That's that you like the do you always like to hear the positives after just the mountains and just oceans and shit of just the negativity that comes out of not just TikTok, just absolutely like you say, just social media in general.
Yeah, I
Everyone's
think
just connected to
3 days ago, so that
constantly.
was
So
Friday. WGN and NBC and a bunch of other news stations, they were out there. This is
that's awesome.
it become like a thing now that a lot of the news stations have had stories about this going viral now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, ABC, like, yeah, I'm just looking right now, ABC 7, NBC 5, a couple other little local news stations have all covered this. So,
And
yeah,
something like
really
that, even
cool.
if it is just a big boom of of businesses like that, you just said 12 times what they've made over the course
Yeah,
of 11 months in 1 month. That's
in
absolutely
in one
insane.
in less than a week.
And
That's
in
insane.
revenue and just revenue things that they
Yeah,
can, yes,
yeah,
that's I just got a different, I was thinking of profit, but yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome to hear. And then yeah, just even if obviously that's not gonna be sustainable, but you get some get just out of that, you're gonna get some casuals just like that being
exactly.
able
Just the exposure, even if
that can
like
change everything. It can
only 10%, even if 10-15% of those
yeah.
customers come back and become regulars, that's absolutely huge. So,
Yeah, and I don't
yeah,
and I don't know what their books are. Obviously, I don't work over there, but I mean, I know I watch enough Bar Rescue to know that something like that can be the difference between shutting your doors down in 3 months and being able to just be open for the foreseeable future. So that's
yeah.
just awesome to hear. That's so much fun. That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
So again, Taco Bout Joys in Glenview, Illinois. Go check them out. Tell them the degenerates sent you. They probably have
Yeah.
no idea what that means. But I plan, like I said,
Yeah.
next time I'm up near the Glenview area, I'm gonna stop over there, get some fucking steak tacos,
Yeah.
and I might even make a little TikTok food review. Get back into the fucking food review game.
There you
Who
go.
knows? I haven't done one of those since the Popeye sandwich came out. Or no, it wasn't the Popeye. I forgot what chicken sandwich it was. You know me, I like my chicken
Yeah,
sandwiches.
absolutely. Yeah, and when you said it, when you were kind of telling him earlier, you sounded like CM Punk. They're like they're closed on Mondays and Sundays. It's when he won the title and was eating the donuts or whatever. He's like, it's the Sally's Bakery,
Oh
whatever. It's
yeah.
closed on Sundays or some shit. So it got me laughing during it. So it made me remind me of that. Uh, other than that, I mean, obviously, like I said, we'll get into the football and really quick, but there's also some. Ugh, I hate the transition to it, Euro football, soccer news, these mysterious deaths. It's crazy. At the risk of
Yeah.
talking about it and risking our own lives over here at the DAAAgenerates podcast, uh, what's going on over here? I know you've been deep diving in a little bit over there. I've kind of caught wind over it, just glancing on Twitter. I'm reading a lot of the comments, and no one wants to deep dive and be the like the skeptical one or the one that wants to like ring the siren of like, hey, this is kind of crazy. Like there's too many of these deaths happening all at once in the same particular area. And everyone seems to kind of be ignoring that. And basically all for the same factor all over like LGBTQ type scenarios. I know the one guy was wearing a rainbow shirt. I know there was a fan that tried to bring in a rainbow flag. For all these reasons, and then just gets sick and dies, as a 30-year-old, as a young male usually does at these soccer games. But just, it's very scary. It's sad. Obviously, you feel for the families that this one reporter was just going out doing his job, and he was just, again, doing what a reporter does, asking questions. He was trying to get some insight on why all the migrant workers had died building the stadium. You apparently ask one too many questions over there, you get capped, and that's kind of what's going on. And I don't know. Again, I'm a little ignorant to the situation in some aspects. You can enlighten me maybe on a couple parts, but this is scary. I don't like hearing this. This is not
Yeah.
this is not what we
So
want to hear.
from what I understand, the man's name is Grant Wall, 49-year-old analyst for CBS Sports. And from what I understand, again, you and I are not the biggest soccer fans by any means, but this Grant Wall guy was pretty much like the cream of the crop when it came to U.S. soccer analysts. So he's like, I don't know who's the
They have a lot of
go-to,
credibility. He would be like
who's
the
like the
Adam
go-to.
Schefter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. 100%. So he'd be like the Adam Scheffner to the
or the Field
NFL. That's
Yates
what,
type guy. If you get
yeah,
okay, yeah, just name a name.
yeah.
Sorry.
So that's Grant Wall to the US soccer scene. And anyone who didn't see the pictures going around a couple weeks ago, Grant Wall tried to go into I believe it was the US versus Wales soccer game wearing a shirt with a rainbow on it, which is, the universal gay pride sign now. And I don't even think the shirt had it didn't say anything to do with gay rights or anything. It just had a rainbow on it, if I remember correctly. Um, he tries to go into the game. They tell him you're not allowed in. You're going to have to change your shirt. Ended up, getting rid of the shirt going into the game. And ever since that, and even since it was announced that the World Cup was going to be played in Qatar, he was just tweeting about this country and the poor conditions and like you said, the conditions that the migrant workers had to work in to build this stadium, and that people were dying building this stadium, and that the government really didn't do anything, and they didn't really give two fucks about it. And Grant Wall, over the last couple weeks, ever since the World Cup, um, how do I say it? Ever since it began in Qatar, he has been very critical of the country and the government and just the way that this World Cup has been ran in the country of Qatar. And oh, there we go. And like you said, it looks like you said one too many fucking things because during the game, during the U.S. Netherlands game, Grant Wall just collapsed on the sideline and died, and it was absolutely out of nowhere. He did say that the day before he
Oh,
wasn't
see, like
feeling
I
too
thought that was
well.
two different stories. I thought that was two different people. I did
No, it was the
not
same
know.
guy.
That's
It was the
wow.
same
Okay.
guy. So the same guy who was wearing that shirt and who has been tweeting all these critical things, and even in interviews just being very critical of the country while doing while reporting on the U.S. Netherlands game, uh, just collapsed and died on the sideline. And then the word came out today that his body is being sent back to the United States as of right now, as of today, Monday the 12th. That his body is on the way back. It might be back already, but I did see something that it at least is on the way back. So, very very weird situation. Grant's brother, I forgot what his brother's name is. He took to Instagram the other day, went live on Instagram. Obviously was very emotional after hearing the story. It turns out that his brother was gay, and he was wearing the shirt in, not just only in support of gay rights, but in support of his brother. And his brother was making some wild accusations that he was killed, that his brother, I mean, his brother had no serious, no underlying health issues, nothing like that, that would just drop him out of fucking on the sideline of a game, just kill him, just randomly like that. He was saying the day before that he wasn't feeling too good and he went to the hospital, but he was released a couple hours later. I don't know what the exact diagnosis was, but then the very next day he just collapses and dies, on the sideline of a soccer match, which is absolutely terrifying. So sketchy situation. This is fucking sketchy. This dude who's been this guy who's just been very critical of this country, just randomly out of nowhere dies in this country, at the World Cup. So I guarantee we're gonna get some investigation on it, do an autopsy on the body, see what actually happened. And if there is some foul play, if something did happen, this could be absolutely huge. This could be like, if like retaliation might be in hand at the. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too fucking political. I don't know the whole situation between us and Qatar, but
I mean,
if something.
I don't even know if you're getting hairy with that situation. It comes down to who even did what. You would not be
Exactly.
able
If
to prove who did what, when, where, and why. That would be such a crazy. Everyone would just need to be under the microscope underneath that
Exactly.
point. That
There's
just
if
that's
they
yeah.
if an autopsy comes back and something fishy is found, there is going to be a massive investigation launched into this guy's death, and it can open a whole fucking can of worms, because as we all know, Qatar is already a fucking shithole third world country as it is, that's just run by fucking pieces of shit and corrupt politicians and whatnot. You think it's bad here? Go to fucking Qatar. You can't even wear a fucking rainbow t-shirt, but whatever. We'll fucking see what happened with this guy. I'm definitely going to be keeping up with this. Just because, I mean, like I said, this is
Yeah.
sketchy. It's just a 49-year-old, relatively healthy man shouldn't just collapse and die at a soccer match,
Yeah,
just
and
out
you
of
would think if he
nowhere.
had health complications, he wouldn't go out to the World Cup for an extended
Exactly. And
period of
his
time and
brother
cover
even
it.
said, he's like, Grant was a healthy guy. Just looking at him, you could
Yeah.
tell he was a healthy guy. He stayed in shape. I think he still played like soccer recreationally, just for fun, to like stay in shape. This guy was in great shape. And his brother said he had no health issues. He wasn't sick. He rarely got sick. He was vaccinated. He was double vaccinated for the coronavirus. This guy was huge about his health, and he just died out of nowhere. So little sketchy going, a little something sketchy going on in my
That's
mind.
yeah. And again, I don't know if you would do you attack the country? Do you attack FIFA? Do you attack, I don't know, somebody who was just maybe hired on
I
the
don't know,
down
but
low? I don't know.
2026 they have to come here.
I
2026 the World Cup's being held in the United States,
fuck
bitch.
that. That sounds
We're
like a ton
taking
of
you to fucking
traffic.
Guantanamo. We're taking them to fucking Guantanamo, and we're gonna zap their nuts.
Oh, what they could do is whatever that the Jeffrey Epstein Island they're on, that he could vacate it
Oh,
and just build a stadium on it. That's just
yeah. Or have like, yeah, have like you ever seen the movie Escape with New York with Kurt Russell?
I have not.
No,
Mm.
you of all people would love that movie. Long story short, the island of Manhattan has been turned into a prison, and
Oh,
there's no guards, and everyone, it's just like a free for all. You can, if you're condemned to like life in prison, you just dropped on this island and you can do whatever the fuck you want. And the president ends up, his plane crashes, and he someone has to go get sent in to go return the president out of like this island prison that's just ran by all the criminals and shit. And it's a crazy fucking movie, but
Oh
that's
yeah.
what they should do. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dystopian films that fuck up
It is.
huge
Oh yeah,
parts of
that's
the
what it is.
population is like right up
That's
my
exactly
alley.
what
I
it
love
is.
that shit.
You'd love it. You would love it. It's like an hour and a half. Kurt Russell. He plays Snake Plissken. That's actually my name in Call of Duty on Warzone. I changed my name to Snake Plissken, but yeah, that's a great movie. You got to watch that. I'm surprised. I know you like good movies, especially movies like that. I'm surprised you haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
That's a good
Honestly, I
one.
don't think I've even heard it, but yeah, that's
And don't watch the other ones. There's like
Escape
Escape from
from
L.
what was it
It's
called?
called
Escape from
it's
what?
called Escape from New York. That's the
Okay.
original one. And with Kurt Russell, there's a couple other ones, Escape from LA and Escape from somewhere else. Don't watch those. Those are dog
Okay.
shit.
Those are probably the ones I have heard of, and I haven't watched any of them. I haven't seen any of them. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. Yeah, if you're good on that, we're good on maybe like I said, hopefully we didn't ask too many questions over here on our end. We're gonna come up and not have another maybe half of us aren't gonna be here for episode
Yeah, no, we're
146.
gonna in the middle of 146. I'm just gonna fucking pass out and die.
Yeah, your new
How
hosts are gonna
fucking
be Mike
crazy.
and Alan coming up. That's
Oh,
gonna or
great.
yeah,
I'm not letting
Tim
Alan
and
touch
Mike.
this.
Oh
Imagine that.
shit.
Fucking
Uh
Wednesday would just oh,
nope.
fucking dart. What's that movie where the guy gets the dart to the neck with Will Ferrell? You're
Oh,
crazy. He's like, oh,
oh,
you're
old
crazy.
school.
Oh yeah, old school. Yeah,
Yeah.
just get the dart to the neck and it's over for the degenerates.
I was thinking of that, or another low key good one, Balls of Fury, the ping pong movie. Whenever they die and whenever they lose in the ping
Oh
pong tournament,
yeah,
they get a blow dart right to their neck, and then yeah,
yeah.
like Thomas Lennon gets it. I think the guy that can shake his tits. So what's the one guy's name? He's in Brooklyn 99. Terry
Terry
Crews.
Crews.
Yeah,
Terry
Terry Crews.
Crews. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's in
could
there.
shake his tits.
That's what we know him for, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that what we know him
Yeah,
for?
exactly. He's the Old Spice. I think he's the
Yeah,
Old
the Old
Spice guy
Spice
too.
guy is the
Yeah.
dad, and everyone hates
He's
Chris. That's
what
yeah.
other movie? From the Longest Yard. He's
Yeah, he's in Longest Yard.
Cheeseburger
Yeah.
Eddie.
Hey, there
Cheeseburger
we
Eddie.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, I got
absolutely.
fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll. I just got burgers.
Yeah. A lot of people had burgers. Maybe I don't know. Maybe also had some stinkers from some fantasy players in week 14. I know I had one that didn't help me. Maybe we can jump on into these games. Some were exciting, some were not. A little surprising on my end. I got my fucking balls slapped up and handed to me in betting. I did not see the board correctly at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, we can deep dive into a couple of these games. You had one that you wanted to start off with right away. Go for it. Which one
Yeah,
is it?
just the Thursday
Thursday
night
night? Yeah,
game.
sure for it. Go
Yeah,
for it.
Thursday night. Obviously, we saw the comeback led by the Rams and Baker Mayfield. Uh, First off, that fucking punt by Cole. I forgot what his name is. Something Cole on the Raiders pinned him down at the 3 yard line. They had a minute and change and no timeouts to go 97 yards and score a touchdown. A field goal wasn't doing diddly poo there at the end. They end up getting it. I think it was Van Jefferson who caught the game winning touchdown.
Correct.
I love when I see the stats and the percentages when someone's supposed to win.
Yeah.
That first down play at the 3 yard line for the Rams, it was like 99.4% win percentage. For the Raiders at that moment. And obviously we saw the rest. Baker Mayfield goes down the field, gets the win. Good for him. Good special moment. Just all the shit that he's been through. Gets cut. Last year with the Browns, gets traded there. Or gets traded out of there, or not traded. No, he didn't get traded. But all the shit that's gone down with him. Nice to see him
No, to the
have a
point where
special
he
little
was
moment right
supposed to get
there.
traded. Nobody wanted him.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. That's yeah.
they finally gave up and handed him away for a 5th rounder or something like that, a 6th rounder. Yeah, I'm looking at the win probability thing on sports on the ESPN app. 98.4% when
98.4. Okay, it
with
was
a minute
98.4.
45
Yeah.
left with Baker Mayfield taking the first snap at the Rams 2 yard line. How fucking
Wow.
crazy. And then
So
it
he's
just slowly
98.4, yeah.
slowly trickles down. They get a little bit of boost right towards the end, and then yeah, they score the touchdown, and there's just no hope with 10 seconds left. Yeah, it's that was crazy. Uh Everyone ran and raving about Baker Mayfield. That was impressive. I can't take anything away from that. I'm just gonna say that besides Mason Crosby, or is it Mason Crosby or is it Max Crosby, the end on
Max
the
Crosby,
okay,
yeah.
so Max Crosby. I think obviously the other one I think is the kicker on the Packers. Uh, Everyone besides him on that Raiders defense is absolutely terrible. And it doesn't help that the Rams offense is like not very good either. I know a little bit of bright spot in Cam Akers. He had an okay day. But when your fucking best receiver is Ben Skoranek, it's not going to be a
Hmm.
good day. It's not going to be a good day for you. And the fact that they were able to do this, and this kind of killed their season, I think this might put the final nail in the coffin for
Yeah,
the
that was
Raiders.
it. That was
Yeah.
it for the Raiders.
A big one for Jacobs, an okay day for for Devontae Adams, but I think it was definitely Derek Carr's shitty performance. 11 completions and 2 interceptions is what did it in for him. He had a terrible fantasy day. For anyone trying to rely on him to get into the playoffs, I'm sorry that just did not go your way. It was a bad day.
Yeah, that was an ugly game all the way until
Yeah,
the last,
it helped the
the last
Bears.
drive
Helped
of
the
the game.
Bears get a
Yeah,
yeah.
did.
This was one of the teams I was talking about. That was between the Broncos and the Rams. And honestly, with the Broncos losing, the Bears not playing, and then the Rams winning, that kind of helps. It moves the Bears one slot down. But I already said the Rams and the Broncos play each other. I don't know. This might not be very good. I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be back. Maybe Russell Wilson is back in time. They're kind of all they just got eliminated. Excuse me, I'm burping all over the place. They just got eliminated too mathematically as well. So I don't know if even playing Russell Wilson is going to be an option for them. So the Broncos might be losing their way out on the season. They might be locked in at the 2 spot. Houston, they're going to keep it competitive, be the 1. Bears might be faced with the 3rd spot. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Russell
Yeah,
Wilson, he got fucked up in that game too. Left to with a
yeah,
concussion, and it was a scary. They had like a slow motion zoom in on his face, and it was just you saw his head hit the ground and
yeah.
his eyes
That
just
was
go
scary.
blank, and he was bleeding out of his mouth a little bit. I was like, ugh,
Yeah,
that did
he
not look
he looked
good.
a little foggy, a little hazy, and then
Yeah,
sure
so
enough,
I
they
imagine,
yeah
yeah,
that
that has to be it for him this
big
season.
old big old welt on his head. That was a big old, yeah, just a nice big old
Yeah,
bruise.
just
It was like a
obviously,
cartoon size bruise. Like it was a one
yeah.
a womp womp womp. It was like one of those. Very
Something you see
unfortunate.
in fucking the what's the when
See the
they get
Looney
bonked
Tunes
in the head?
cartoons.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Looney
a Tom
Tunes.
and
Yeah,
Jerry cartoon.
yeah,
Yeah, when they get hit with a giant mallet or something. Like it was
yeah.
one
I
of
think
those.
just for even though the Broncos and Russell Wilson not living up to expectations this year, you're still gonna have him for the next 7 years, I believe, going
Yeah.
forward. That has to be it for the season. At least for Russell Wilson, start fresh next year. You're already out of the playoffs. He's still whether you like it or not, he's going to be your franchise
Yeah.
quarterback. And before he got hurt yesterday, he was playing good. He was moving the ball and they were scoring points. Even without Cortland Sutton, that offense, up until that injury, they were in it with the fucking Chiefs. So I still think they could put it all together. That defense needs to figure it out a little bit. But that team definitely has the talent next year uh, to be a contender if
Yeah.
they figure everything out. But
And
I
just
think
thinking
that
about it now, I
that
mean,
does
it
it
might
for Russell
them
Wilson.
them being the number 2, the Broncos, that might not be the worst thing for the Bears still, because like you just said, Russell Wilson's still in line to be a QB. They're not going to draft a QB in that sense. They might not need a defense. They actually have like a top 5 defense in the league right now. It's just not translating to any wins because their offense is so bad. They might be the ones that trade down and probably take a wide receiver. And I know they have Cortland Sutton. I know they have Jerry Judy. A lot of Denver guys, a lot of Denver analysts and fans, they're just not thinking that this core is going to be it. Maybe a tight end or something like that. I know that would be even farther down the line, probably not even worth being a first round pick at that point. I know the outside outliers like TJ Hawkinson and stuff like that have seen the difference, and even I don't know, even if you were able to find a player like Mark Andrews, identify that Mark Andrews was going to do the stuff that he's going to do, you would maybe pick him for sure in the first round. Just, I don't know, dude. Just thinking in my mind like that, optimistic Bears fan says that's not the worst part. They could be the ones that shakes things up, trades with the teams that we mentioned earlier, like the Panthers, the Saints, maybe a
Yeah.
team that's probably going to be looking for a quarterback, that number 2 spot, and the Bears can still get their number 3 spot and still get that defensive end as long as they probably lose out the way that we probably think we are. Well, we got the Eagles and the Bills coming up. That doesn't sound like wins, even though the Vikings are atrocious. We're probably not there, and the Lions look good. So I think those are going to be losses for the Bears. So I don't know. Yeah, kind of went all over the place. I think even I'll lightly touch upon that Chiefs Denver game. I think the Chiefs they were kind of bored. They were playing with their food. They got out to a huge lead. Didn't really see them as a threat, and they kind of started. The Denver's kind of started scoring. It's just unfortunate that Russell Wilson will finish the year with 11 total touchdowns, passing touchdowns, one less than the amount of bathrooms in his house. That's what the internet is exploding about and going crazy about. Maybe he gets one more start and gets in there, but that's not even a guarantee at this point that he would be able to throw another one. So that's just that. I think on that game, on a couple others. Was there another one that you were looking forward to that caught your eye?
Yeah, I feel like we could just talk about
We talked
one
about
we
the
were
whole board
excited
almost.
for. Yeah, we were excited for last week, Lions Vikings, and the Lions pull it off. Vegas, they were in on something. They knew something that we didn't. And I think this definitely, we've been on the line. Is Minnesota
I
good? Is
think they just
Minnesota
knew what
bad?
everybody else knew, but they just didn't want
Yeah.
to admit it because they saw a plus sign. The Vikings are bad. The
Yeah,
Vikings are
that
just
offense
bad.
is or that
The
defense
defense is
is
bad. Sorry. I
is
mean, Justin
god
Jefferson is
awful.
amazing. He had
God,
what,
oh dude,
220 yards? Yeehaw.
223 yards set I know. Yeah, yeah, set a fucking franchise record for a franchise that has had Randy Moss and Chris Carter, and even for a little bit Stephon Diggs there as receivers in Minnesota for Justin Jefferson to go out and set a franchise record, 223 yards. Anyone in the family league listening? Yeah, yeah, I still can't believe you fucking idiots let me draft him 10th overall. What are you thinking? But anyway, yeah,
Anyway.
Lions got the win. Impressive as win. They're 6-7 now. They're still in the hunt. And it was cool to see Jamison Williams, the rookie out of Alabama. First catch in the MLB in the NFL goes for a 41-yard touchdown. That's gonna be. We were talking about it. That's gonna be a crazy wide receiver core somewhere down the line. Jamison Williams, Amon St. Brown, and even DJ Chark as a number 3 who's been having a great year. So I don't know, 34-23. Lions get a fucking impressive home win. What were your takes on this game?
I Big one right here. I'm looking at just a guy, Dalvin Cook, while he had the touchdown, just only 23 yards on the ground, 22 total rushing yards for the Vikings. I while like I was mentioning, while the Detroit Lions were giving up a ton of air yards, they have been locking down the rushing as of late. So I mean, I think they took care of Derrick Henry a couple weeks ago. They may have had Saquon Barkley earlier on in the year or something like that. I don't exactly remember. But they've been taking care of these huge rushing guys and just leaving them in the dust. Like I said, he doesn't get the score on the ground. That's because I think it was from like 2 or 3 yards out. He made a nice little move
Yeah,
and got in
they
there.
held Saquon to 22 yards on 15 carries and no
I
touchdowns.
mean, like yeah,
Yeah.
just things like that. It's while we were talking about the 30th overall defense, they do actually show up in the rushing and hold you down, but they just give it all up in the passing. I think yeah, Kirk Cousins 425 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a nice little game, but just not enough. Just this offense wasn't enough. I think they had an opportunity. They probably should have went for the score, for the touchdown, the score instead of just a field goal at the time. That would have been a huge difference. But yeah, just showing again that the Lions again they've already made mention that they could actually win the division. They would need the Vikings to lose out and the Lions to win out. So probability wise, not viable, not really going to happen. But I mean, definitely at this point, the Lions. I'm kind of locking them in at the. I saw this the Monday night game sniffing around instead of in the hunt. I like that better. So sniffing around are those Lions. I think they're going to be in that wild card spot come at the
Yeah.
end of the year.
Now you see that too. I mean, that team is playing good football right now. They have completely rallied around Dan Campbell. And even Jared Goff over there. Jared Goff has been playing great football
You're
recently.
getting
So
healthy. DeAndre
yeah.
Swift getting healthy. I think Penei Sewell actually catching a pass for Christ's sake out there.
Right.
So
Got
yeah,
caught the pretty much the
the game
the the
that one
play that
sealed it.
ended the game. Yeah, the play that's the play that sealed it. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm looking at the rest of their season. They get the Jets next week. They get the Panthers, the Bears, and the Packers. I'm seeing 2 wins, maybe 3 right there. So that
Yeah.
could be a huge help for them. And I mean, not just off the top of my head, the Giants have kind of pitter pattered away. I think they're just a bit out of juice. They don't really have enough. Hearing this injury for Saquon, that's not very good. They just get Bellinger back. I think he just goes out in their game. The Eagles look so good. The Eagles look like that team in Madden when you're like, guys, I'm good. I'm just gonna play my offline franchise. This is the offline franchise when you just put it on like pro or all pro and you just kind of cool back and you're like, oh, they could score a couple touchdowns, but I'm dogging them 48-20, 50-10. It's just they're hitting on all cylinders. There's nothing really defenses can do right now. Jalen Hurts is either running past you or he's throwing an absolute dot to AJ Brown. Again, just how he's went from just a complete non-factor throwing the ball to now you really have to worry about him is just overnight is just night. It was insane. The improvement there. Like I said, I'm all over the place with games and whatnot. What was another one you were looking at right now?
Yeah, just the Eagles. There's not really a weak spot on that Eagles
Yeah,
team right now. Offense, defense, coaching, special
Miles
teams.
Sanders
That
had a
is,
huge game. They're
it,
running
he
they're
did.
running the ball when whoever's tired. It's Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell when he's healthy, and then Jalen Hurts. Just whatever. Like it's like I said, they could. It's crazy. This team is they're firing on all cylinders. The only thing I think is what people are concerned about Philadelphia fans are this. I've heard special teams might be an issue, so we'll see how that goes. If you want to be firing on all things, offense, defense, special teams. That's what makes you there.
Yeah.
So if you're controlling the offensive line on all cylinders, so that's kind of what they're doing right now. It's huge. Uh, I'm taking a look at one. Oh, okay, maybe a little biased because I had fantasy and I had gambling on it. It was a big blowout. I read it wrong completely. I said, yeah, fuck it. It's Brady versus Purdy. I'm going to go with Brady, the GOAT, versus Mr. Irrelevant. And, it ended up being the San Francisco offense. The San Francisco team is just all around just better than the Buccaneers as of right now. So I'll be, let's see, a couple of plays decided this game kind of early in my mind, but ultimately I think the Bucks did check out and they probably would have lost all in general. I think, like I said, uh the flag right away, the opening play, a sack on Brock Purdy is a roughing the passer. He kind of put his weight on, I'm sure, whatever. That could be 50-50. The way that they're calling plays now, it's more likely going to go that way. That was huge. That ended up I think they went down and scored later on that drive, no problem. A holding play on a 70-yarder that could have went my way for I have Mike Evans on my team. He was just wide open for a touchdown. Would have made it 7-7 right away. Like I just said, it was a holding called back.
Yeah.
They weren't
You know
able
who that
to
holding was on?
the most
The
penalized
same guy,
guy.
Donovan Smith, fucking cocksucker.
Yeah, I
I
mean this
know.
guy is
Fuck
just so
him. I fucking
brutal.
started Evans too, and I was going
I mean,
crazy after that, and then I see the flag, and I just, oh, great.
I was so upset. He's just been having this dog. He had a very sour last month. It was just awful to see, and he's getting the targets, just not getting the receptions and the yardage or any scores. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 4. I'm very disappointed in that. So that was a huge blow. A couple other plays. I okay. There's nothing that you can't take away the McCaffrey play. That was a touchdown. That was awesome. That was a very fun thing to see. Brock Purdy to
Yeah, that was a
McCaffrey
beautiful
connection.
throw and a beautiful catch.
Yeah,
Bobbled it in
yeah,
midair and still got both feet down.
yeah. That's
That was
absolutely
very
awesome.
impressive. Yeah.
And then they have like one other play again, kind of iffy, kind of fuckery. And then the very next play, it breaks away and it's a touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers. And it was like 28-0 at that point. So the game was just decided. And whether it was or wasn't really the referees, whether it was just really just bad play from the Buccaneers, I don't know. That it for sure tells me that the 49ers are legit. They are the three teams in the NFC between them, the Cowboys, and the Eagles that are like who's going to be the ones that are going to be in the Super Bowl. And they're just telling me the Bucks are dead. Like the Bucks are dead,
Yeah,
100%.
they
They
are.
might end up
They
losing
are.
the
And they're
division.
still going to probably make well, they could even win the division.
They
That's the
can.
sad thing.
They're just one game above the Panthers and the Falcons right now, and the Falcons might get a little bit of some juice out of their new quarterback, the rookie
Yeah.
guy out of Desmond Ritter. Is that the guy's name? Maybe
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Get some rookie juice out of that guy. Get them going. Maybe they just get just enough to get into that playoff spot for them. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know. They're
crazy to
dirty
think one of
birds.
those teams is going to win the division. That's
Yeah,
where you
win the
sort of
division.
like don't
Host.
like divisions, you know.
Yeah, and most likely host like a team like the Cowboys or something like that. And their game was fun too to watch. We're just gonna mindlessly transition to them if you get on that. A lot of people are asking, do the Cowboys deserve to win this game? Yeah, they went on a 98-yard final drive to capitalize and win the game. That shows me that they kind of deserve to win it. Should it have been as close? No. Texans are really, really bad, but the Cowboys have showed that they play down to their competition. They definitely should have taken care of the Packers. They let the Packers come right back in and ended up losing that overtime game. Just shows that maybe you were onto it. That Mike McCann. What's their head coach?
Mike McCarthy,
Mike
fucking
McCarthy.
cocksucker.
I'm terrible with names today. Mike McCarthy is just going to show you that he has all the talent to win games, and he's going to coach them out of games for without a doubt. Almost did it right here. Lovey Smith, how about that? Doing the dual QB tandem thing. That was kind of fun to see. They were running with I believe Jeff Driscoll and
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll, yeah.
the Davis
Mills.
Mills. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, well, it was crazy that was going on. They were able to still move the ball somewhat. I know Damian Pierce had an okay day, just because I was watching him in fantasy on the opposite end. Just weird day. Like again, do they deserve to win? Yeah, I mean they went on a 98-yard drive to decide it. So I mean that tells me uh they shouldn't have been in that situation again. They probably should have been probably like the Eagles should have been like a 50 to 10 game, 50 to 24 game or something like that. But yeah, the Cowboys just weren't ready. Like I said, they played down for sure. What do you, anything
Yeah,
on that?
this was like the definition of a trap game for the
Yeah.
Cowboys at home. Maybe a
And we
little
said it, you never
rivalry
really
there
cover those
between
big 17-point spreads, those 20-point
exactly,
spreads in the NFL.
exactly.
Only
The
maybe in college, but not in the NFL, Jim.
yeah. You know, you're at home, you got the worst team in football coming in. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be an easy game and you're just going to run through them. And the Texans got off to a hot start. Damian Pierce scored in the first quarter. And then, what's his name? Amari Rogers, I think, caught that touchdown pass. And they were up 17-14 after that. And, you know, even had the lead going into halftime. And a lot of people were questioning, but sometimes you're gonna have to win those ugly games. There's still professional teams at the end of the day, and just for them to down 23-20, go on that long, like you said, 98 yard
98
drive,
play drive. Holy
98
shit.
play, 72-minute drive. 98-yard drive at the end of the game to win it. Zeke gets the 2-yard touchdown run for the winner. Sometimes you're gonna have to win and eke out ugly games like that. So yeah, very impressive win. Impressive for me because I rolled the dice in fantasy and I started Zeke and Tony Pollard this week, and obviously all 3 touchdowns were
Worked
scored by
out.
Pollard
Yeah.
and Zeke. So good on me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was a good one right there. Looking through the rest of them, 36-22 final for the Jags and the Titans. I don't know. Do we keep throwing around that fraud word with the Titans, or was this just
Yeah, I have to.
yeah. Yeah, just
Trevor
a
Lawrence,
big
though, what
disappointment.
a fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. 370 yards, I think, passing, 3 touchdowns. Was battling that had a foot injury coming into this one, scored a rushing touchdown on the ground, obviously rushing. He had an amazing game too. He's the reason they won this damn game.
I know I was also again just going up against him, and I had him in fantasy. Derrick Henry exploding in the first half, and then only having 2 rushing yards in the second half. I was like,
Jeez.
what? He also had 2 fumbles for fumble losses, unfortunately. So I think he made up for it. Had a couple of receptions, but just not really the. You saw that at the end of the first half, and you were going up against him, or if you had him, you're like, holy cow, he's gonna have an amazing day going
Yeah.
up against the Jags. He still did on paper, 120 yards in the ground and a couple through the air. That's nothing to sneeze at. He had a score on the ground as well. But you would have thought, seeing all that, you were like, that happened basically all in the first half. You're like, oh, he should have had a way better day. I don't know what exactly the game plan was there. Relying on Ryan Tannehill's arm really shouldn't be the game plan when you don't have Treylon Burks there at the moment. But I don't know. I don't know. Tonight, it's just one of those games where the Titans are probably going to drop it. I don't know. That's still really theirs to take division wise. I'm gonna have to really look at it over there. But I don't really see the Colts coming back in any sort of fashion. Jeff Saturday's kind of closed the door on that. Um, Looking at other games, Bills Jets was crazy, not crazy, just kind of crazy bad as it was
Yeah, it
low
was an ugly
scoring.
game, bad weather
Yeah,
too.
bad
It was
weather
really
turned
rainy
into
in the
worse
first
weather.
half and then snow. Yeah.
Yeah, the big takeaway from that was just damn that Mike White took a pounding. He was just folded up. That Matt Milano tackle was just
The
hit.
spear, the spear. That's just I heard JR in my head
Oh yeah, that was
as soon as that
great.
happened.
Gore. If you're an ECW fan,
Gore,
gore,
yeah.
gore, gore. Yeah, that was great. He was absolutely just bent him in half like an accordion. I don't know, just something like that, like a slinky. That was gnarly. Came back in. I think the report afterward, he's like he checked into the hospital for a little bit. And he's okay. I think he was okay, but just for precautionary reasons. But the Jets fall the Bills 20-12 on that one. That was just big for the Bills. They needed that. Again, just one of those where they just need to win ugly. No one really showed up. Again, I had Diggs on my team, didn't do anything. No one besides really Josh Allen did anything. I think Dawson Knox caught a crazy front flip touchdown. That was essentially the highlight of the day come offense wise for this entire squad. There was also a block punt at the end that turned into a safety. Who cares? Bengals Browns. The only takeaway I have really is all those beat reporters in Cincinnati should be fired for not telling me or telling anybody that T. Higgins wasn't going to be able to go. He played one snap, and then he was like, my hamstring hurts. I'm going to be done for the rest of the game.
Wow.
Luckily enough, it didn't really matter in that game for me, come fantasy wise. But still, I mean, a ton of other people probably were writing on him. But just in my mind, again, just where were the reports? Where was anything? If you weren't at that game in Cincinnati, or yeah, it was in Cincinnati. If you weren't at that game in person, you didn't know that he was probably gimping around, not looking ready to go. So I was disappointed in hearing that. I didn't like seeing a zero come fantasy wise. And while they were able to win the game without T. Higgins because Jamar Chase is so amazing, and that's just bad reporting. Like in my mind, a lot of people should be fired. A lot of people should be underneath the microscope, the magnifying glass in terms of, hey, what are you doing over there? What the fuck, dude? Come on. Like this was a huge week for fantasy. This is for a ton of people. This is either make or broke your playoff getting in there. And a guy like T. Higgins was like, yeah, I'm gonna play him against the Browns. Like that's gonna be a huge thing. And just I don't know. Maybe that's just me venting, but yeah, whatever. It's annoying. It's annoying not hearing people doing their job. Anything on those couple of the games, maybe on that play, on that. If do you have Higgins in any other leagues?
I don't know. I do not. I played against him, and luckily, yeah, he put up a fucking big old fucking goose egg against me. But yeah, that's just for no reports to come out because I know pregame it said he was healthy, it said he was gonna play even the night before, and for nothing to come out, at least half an hour, 20 minutes before game time. Uh, yeah, that definitely
Yeah.
sucks for
No,
anybody who's like on that bubble,
it was
on that
all
fantasy bubble.
it was all Johnny after the fact, coming out saying, "Oh, he was actually hurt during warm-ups. No one said anything. Why didn't anyone say anything?" Like, dude, that's your job. You're supposed to be the one that says something. Asswipe. Ugh, excuse me. Sorry. They still get a big win. That was a huge one. Kind of a little bit of a wash considering the Ravens. They won an absolutely ugly one. They could have lost it for sure. Steelers were coming back a little bit. So Ravens down to possibly the third string at this point with CJ Huntley going out with a head injury. Might have Lamar Jackson back. He's been week to week, but I think the main the main report has been he might be back for Christmas Eve, the Saturday games in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes for Lamar Jackson. I think definitely for the Ravens, they're gonna want him to play. Like I said, with the Bengals hot on their tail with the standing wise. But I know if in terms of just playing the long game, you might just want to have him sit. Maybe CJ Huntley is able to come back in some sort of aspect. I don't know. I don't know what what the next week's games are for the Ravens and the Bengals, but we'll see how that one goes. Any thoughts on the Ravens and Steelers? And then there was only one other game, Panthers and Seahawks. If you had anything on
Yeah,
that,
two things. Fucking Money Mitch got to play a little bit after that Kenny Pickett injury, threw three interceptions. One of them was to Roquan Smith, so a
and he had a
little bear
sack
to
on his
bear
there too.
action right there. Yeah, and then I almost called it last week. I predicted there's going to be a blocked punt in this game. There was a blocked field goal, so I
Oh,
almost called it. I almost fucking called it, but yeah, this was an ugly game. Ravens, they're an ugly team. They're gonna fucking win ugly, and I feel like from here on out, it wouldn't be like just go out of Wildcat and run that all the way down the field and just have Justin Ducker kick 55 yarders all game. Like that could be a feasible game plan for him from here on out. I don't know how this team is still 9-4. They are, and like we said last week, this was going to be an ugly game
there
between two
are. You know
fucking
what?
ugly teams, and it was
That's
exactly
not
that.
the worst idea considering you would have J.K. Dobbins who could catch a snap and run, Gus Edwards, and
Yeah,
probably
you mix in like Deshaun Jackson and Robinson on fucking Devin Duvernay, those speedy guys on like end arounds. Maybe give
yeah.
it to fucking Patrick Richard on a little fullback dive for 2 yards. You could do that all up and down the field, and then fucking Justin Tucker could just come in and kick balls from midfield all or have yeah, midfield all fucking day. So
Oh my god, that
um
would be insane. They would just run the clock out. They would take the entire first quarter, and then it would be yeah, the entire first quarter would end, and then it would be the opening field goal to start the second quarter, and then they just play defense again. Oh man, that's I think there definitely are stranger game plans for the Ravens in a lot of other people's minds. Yeah, so that was a weird one. And yeah, anything on this Panthers and Seahawks game? I know another loss for the Seahawks. They kind of needed that one if they were kind of gonna stay in that their standings with their 49ers, but at this point, I don't think a head-to-head matchup with the Niners, the Seahawks have no chance in my mind. So, like I said, any thoughts on this Carolina game?
Yeah, this one didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to. Just I don't know if you saw that catch by Terrence Marshall. He only had
And we
one
caught it with
catch
his
in the
legs.
game. Yeah, caught it with his legs. Holy shit, that was an amazing catch. What athleticism by that dude. Only had one catch, one target the entire game, and he
It was that
makes
one.
that crazy fucking catch.
It
So,
was for his nuts. They
um,
targeted his nuts for Christ's sake,
yeah, that
not
was
his
insane.
hands.
That was a crazy catch. Just yeah, that I know the Seahawks still 7-6, still technically they're gonna be in the hunt a little bit, but just looking at the rest of their games, they got the Niners, the Chiefs, the Jets, and the Rams. So three pretty tough games in there for the Seahawks with the Niners, the Chiefs, and the Jets. And then Rams week 17, who the fuck knows? Probably a win there for them, but I think they needed this game, and then they probably even needed to steal one against the Niners, the Chiefs, and the Jets to find their way into the playoffs. And just losing to the Panthers like that, I know they've been a fun team. They've been an exciting team. Geno Smith has played amazing football all year long. But they're not a real contender. Let's be honest. I mean, maybe a fully healthy team, and they had Kenneth Walker still on the offense, but he's down. He didn't play for him. He might not play for the next couple weeks. Yeah, I think that like I said, they're still 7-6, but that might have done it with the games coming up for them. Um, that might have been
They're a
one of the
seven and
nails in the
they're a
coffin.
seven and
Yeah,
six. Like I think the Giants are still 7-6. They're not really all too there. I mean,
the
they
Giants are
one
7-5-1.
that
You
exactly.
watch
I
the
mean,
slander there. They got a
sorry,
tie.
sorry.
They got a
Yeah.
tie.
I mean, but one gust of wind and they're tipping over in my mind.
Exactly,
Teams like
exactly.
that. Uh oh, actually, there was one other game I think I was overlooking, just the Sunday night game, and it was a pretty good one. It was a very for the naysayers, for the negative ones on Justin Herbert as of late. I think not. I don't think we were throwing shade at him. We were just kind of acknowledging the fact that people were bringing this up, that Herbert wasn't really living up to the expectation as of late. He came out. He had a very good game, 350 yards through the year. I think he had at least 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, Eckler had a nice game. I was able to enjoy that somewhat fantasy wise, and just I think the big headliners, just as good as Herbert played, Tua just was as just awful. It was very bad. That team did not show up. Tyreek Hill was gimping around. He did everything he could. I still see a lot of people online saying he should get those fumble recovery yards. Those should count for fantasy too. Yeah, a little bit here and there. I think maybe that should maybe count as rushing yards in my mind. I know unintentional, but it should be still rushing yards regardless. Uh, and what you said this earlier, when it comes to the cold months, they didn't really matter. They were playing in a dome in Los Angeles, but their run game is non-existent. You would think on a Chargers defense that they're very bad when it comes to rushing defense, rushing offenses and stuff like that. Raheem Mostert only had 11 attempts on the ground. Jeff Wilson goes out really early with a hip injury. Tua doesn't really do anything on the ground. I think he had maybe 30 yards rushing
Who had his
a couple of
first
times.
rushes since he got fucked up and threw up all those gang
Oh
signs?
wow, that's
That was the
I didn't
first time
actually
he
know
actually
that.
took off and ran a ball since he got injured.
Wow,
Yeah.
that maybe just goes to show you his confidence level didn't get until
Yeah.
something like a game like this, where you knew that he could actually start doing that and not get just pummeled to the ground. Yeah, this might just be more telling for the Dolphins, who just yeah, like I said, I'll give you the props. Just they're not able to move the ball on the ground. They're just not winning games as of these past 2 weeks. Kind of just very questionable. Like what's going on here? Like whoa, that big. I mean, the San Francisco one kind of expected to lose, but to lose that fashion and to not really I don't think they had 50 offensive snaps. They might have already were lingering around high 40s. So there's some huge issues, and it could be some of Tua's play, some of just the rushing. Like I said, everything Tyreek Hill's doing, there's nothing else he can do more. He literally picked up a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown. He caught a huge one for 60 yards for a touchdown. He did everything right. Jalen Waddle wasn't doing very, very well. I think he might still be hurt. But after that, I mean, I can't name you another receiver out there that did really anything. I don't know if Gesicki's even out there doing anything. I don't know. I honestly don't know what this offense was up to. Tua might be answering my own question right now. Tua might be the huge problem right now. So, and their defense isn't helping either. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That was
no,
a
that
very telling
defense,
game
ever
there for
since
them.
even with the Bradley Chubb trade, that defense, I feel, didn't even get better with that trade. It's still just been average. I'm gonna give some love to the Chargers here. I mean,
Yeah.
just given all the shit that they've gone through this year, they go into this game with no Derwin James, no JC Jackson, um, uh, what's his name? The no Bryce Callahan, former Bear great, no fucking, I said Derwin James. They got no Derwin
Yeah.
James. No Joey Bosa. Those are some of your absolute studs
Oh, I mean,
on the
that was their
defensive side of the
defense right
ball.
there,
Exactly. That's
essentially.
their defense, and they didn't have any of them playing. And to come out and they put up 17 points, but to hold this Miami offense to 10 points, that's amazing. Sure, fucking buddy guy got the fumble recovery for 50 yards. I'm not counting that against the Chargers defense. To hold this high powered Miami offense to 10 points with half of your defense being backups, that's very impressive. And then on the other side of the ball, we finally saw for the first time, I feel like all year, a fully healthy, almost as healthy as it's going to get Chargers offense. Herbert's been dealing with that rib injury for a couple weeks now. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams have been on and off the field the entire season. Austin Eckler's been consistent. He's been there, the entire season, do what he does. Anyone that has him in PPR formats, you better fucking write that guy a letter
I
thanking him
will.
because he is just holy shit.
I'll
We were
buy him a
talking about this.
steak dinner if I meet him
Yeah,
in person. I don't
we were
care if
we
I
were
win,
talking
lose, or
about this.
draw. He's
Yeah, we were
amazing.
talking about this on PlayStation last night. We are like, Jesus Christ! Like, if you got Eckler in a PPR league, he doesn't even have to rush the ball. Just based on the catches that he gets in PPR, like he can be a number one running back for a lot of people. And that's taking out like his rushing game. So, yeah, he's been there. He's been Mr. Consistent all year for them. But I'm gonna give him props because a lot of people, us included, been hating on Justin Herbert. Um, and for this team to be at 7-6 right now after losing Rashawn Slater, their star left tackle, after the injury to Herbert, after the multiple injuries to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, to come out and give up 10 points to this Miami offense and win on a big Monday night to get yourself to 7-6. Kudos to them, man. I feel like that was a must-win game for them, and
Absolutely,
that
considering that
was
the Chiefs, I think they may have locked up the division right there with that win against the Broncos. They just need to keep up and be able to get in that wild card spot. Again, it
yeah,
helps that the Raiders might have just eliminated themselves essentially, if not mathematically out. But the
yeah,
Broncos just got eliminated. All you really got to worry about is a couple of the teams like who's going to fall out between the Ravens and the Bengals, and
yeah.
then
Well,
maybe
and
you
even
got to worry about one other spot.
just looking at the Chargers the rest of the way out, they got 4 games left. They got the Titans at home, they got the Colts on the road, they got the Rams at home, and the Broncos on the road. So four very winnable games.
Oh yeah,
4 very winnable games for this Chargers team. Can easily get to 11-6 and lock up. I'd say that top wild card spot. Maybe not have to play the Chiefs or the Bills or whoever's getting that second seed in the AFC or in the AFC. Lock up that fifth or sixth spot in the AFC would be big for the Chargers.
yeah, if you could play that four seed right there, if you could play
Yeah,
that,
yeah, that'd be
yeah, that
huge
would
for
be
them.
absolutely, yeah, especially if somehow, some way they get the Ravens or something like that, or if they end up winning the wild card or not, they end up winning the division. Regardless, I'm just
Yeah, they
thinking
just got to
ahead.
get healthy. They got to get Bryce Callahan back. They got to get. Bryce Callahan, he's their number one now with J.C. Jackson down for the year. Derwin James and Joey Bosa didn't play last night. That got to get those guys back and healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it was something like this was the first game since week whatever, since Mike Williams and Keenan Allen were both able to start and come off the field at the same time on
Wow.
both healthy and unscathed. So that was pretty cool to hear. I think it was something like since week 1 of this year or since whatever week 15 of last year, something weird like that. I mean, it was just ridiculous that these guys have just been in and out. And I mean, yeah, as long as you had Keenan Allen maybe in a PPR league too, I think he had like 12 receptions for like 93 yards. He had a good game and no score. I think Mike Williams had the score, had 100 yards through the air. Yeah, this air game can help. They could help out. Yeah, it could even help out Eckler. And I mean, they're running between Eckler and then Joshua Kelly sometimes as well. Get some touches in there as well. So they got a good little healthy offensive game plan over there in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Definitely can make some noise as long as they keep it consistent and get into the wild card spot. And then yeah, on the opposite side, Dolphins, they need to figure something out considering the Bills have pretty much locked up the division with these past couple wins, locked up maybe getting the bye week and maybe the number 1 seed in the AFC. So they're gonna have to figure something out. The Patriots aren't completely out of it. A win right here can put them in very prime spot to just steal something away from the Dolphins.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I
I
will
think,
say, coming up, obviously we're going to talk about it. 147 coming out Wednesday or Thursday. This Saturday night we get the first fucking Saturday slate of football, and that Saturday night game is going to be Dolphins Bills. So that's going to be one hell of a game to tune into if you guys got nothing going on
oh
Saturday
yeah,
night.
yeah, there's gonna be like 3 Saturday night games with the
Oh
Thursday.
yeah,
Thursday, 3 Saturday, and a big, nice little slate on Sunday. I don't think any Monday night games are starting to get Saturday night games, but
we got
either way.
Monday as well.
Oh, we
We
got a
got
Monday
fucking
still?
Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I
Oh, they're
mean,
taking over.
Monday's Rams Packers.
Yeah.
But hey, we fucking, that still football's football.
Yeah, that could be good. And I just I'm a little partial. I don't know. If a guy like me, it could be I don't know. Again, I can't see into the future, but I can already tell if I got to worry about my fantasy and it's Christmas Day, my family might be hating me that day. So I don't know. I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
I
wait.
already fucking told my family. I'm like, usually we get basketball on Christmas, and I don't give two fucks
Yeah,
about basketball. But this year, Christmas Eve and Christmas falls on a Saturday, Sunday, and we're getting football on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I'm fucking locked in. I don't give a
yeah,
shit. I know the Bears are gonna get shit kicked by the Bills. I'm fine with that. I got Josh Allen and Diggs in fantasy. And then obviously Christmas Day, we got what is it? Bucks Cardinals going to be a decent one. Packers
that's the night
Dolphins, some
game.
fantasy implications there. Broncos Rams. Maybe you're starting a couple guys in that one, but yeah, just I don't know. 4 days a week we get football now. It truly is like Bing Crosby said, the most wonderful time of the year, Jim.
Yeah. Week 16, so get this, I got Prescott, Murray, and I have Brady just because I've been filtering around. Held on to one just because I was kind of thinking like, oh, you're playing a little defense. Somebody needed a good QB for the week. Kind of backfired on me, regardless. Week 16, like I said, like it'll be the Cardinals versus the Bucks. I mean, it'll be sitting pins and needles maybe on the Christmas night game. Maybe Kyler Murray or Brady deciding if I get into a championship or not. That's going to be, I don't know. It could be good. Could be, I might not have to worry at all. We'll see how that goes. But that's just like, I'm already just like priming myself, like getting myself mentally like, I might hate this Christmas. I don't know. Or
It
I could
could
really,
be
really enjoy
amazing.
it.
It could
Or I
be
could, yeah,
awful.
it could be
Yeah.
really, really good or really, really bad. I'm
Yeah, I'll never
hoping for the
forget
better.
2018. I won my fantasy league on Christmas Eve, and it was the greatest thing ever. And I
Absolutely. That'd
won
be the
I
best
won it
gift
by
ever.
two. I won it by 2/10 of a point. And I remember Christmas Eve, I'm usually with my girlfriend and her family, and we go out to eat and we open gifts over there and we just hang out and watch a Christmas movie or something. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. This is fantasy playoffs, and it's not only playoffs. This is fucking. I'm in the championship, and I have to watch this. So we were opening presents. The game was on TV. Usually we turn off the TV when we open gifts. I had the TV on. It was on mute, so we still had some Christmas music going on in the background, opening gifts and shit. But I'll never forget the court. Another former Bear great, Cordero Patterson, 98-yard punt return for a touchdown, won me the fucking championship on Christmas Eve, and there was no better feeling. No one else. I was going crazy. Like, why the fuck are you going crazy? It's Raiders Broncos on
Why are
Christmas
you
Eve. I
going
was like, you
crazy? You
don't
just got socks
understand.
for Christmas.
Exactly. I just won the fucking fantasy league. But yeah, it's gonna be an amazing Christmas Eve and Christmas Day this year with football. Let me tell you that. That needs to come. Like I love the fucking Thanksgiving football every year. We need fucking football on Christmas every single year. I don't care if it comes on a Tuesday. I want football.
I like that too, and I just like that. Yeah, for that little fact of NBA's kind of had it. And I just like that the NFL was like, you know what, we're done just like letting you have Christmas. It's our turn to just basically have every single day of the week now. So they'd be like, no, we've done this forever. Nope, sorry, NFL, you're NBA, you're done, you're out. And NFL in, even if it is just 3 games compared to their 5, everyone's gonna be watching the 3 NFL games. Because nobody wants to watch LeBron James jump on the ground every single time. So that's just how it is every year. Speaking of a little NBA, I think are you good on NFL? That about wrapped up.
Yeah, I think we pretty much hit everything. Yeah.
I think we did. We hit every little slate. Obviously, next episode we'll be finally be able to talk a little Bears. Bears come back. Bears come back from the bye. We'll talk that. Bears Bills or Bears Eagles?
We
Bears
got
Eagles.
Bears Eagles.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross. Luckily,
Yeah.
I got the Eagles defense, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll talk a little NBA really quick. Just something really light, really small. Maybe get a couple, maybe your ID on it as well. I know you're like you just admitted you're not really a big NBA guy, not really following it whatsoever. I mean, I'm in here, I'm in and out on it. I look at the standings here and again. Bulls kind of lost a little close one. Should have been was actually way closer than it should have been. I think Atlanta's way better than the Bulls, but it was a heartbreaker in OT last night. 123, 122. Bulls are just the outside looking in when it comes to the, for a play-in spot right now. Still very young in the season, only 30, about 25, 30 games in the season. I think they're 11 and 15 as of right now. They're about the same with who they're looking up at and who's right behind them. Washington and the Bulls are more or less the same exact team. I think in my mind, got some talents here and there. Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, kind of similar. You mirrored them, you would see DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. So that's just kind of how it is right now. Same thing, like I said, looking up, they see the Miami Heat very close. They're as long as if they get healthy, they could be better than what they are now. But another team that the Bulls could probably catch up with and definitely beat maybe the Toronto Raptors. So if the Bulls are able to sneak into somewhat of a playoff spot, that would be good. I see them right at that 10-9-8 spot. If the Bulls go off and go crazy like they did, I only see really a 4 or 5 spot still. And even realistically, when we get down to it, I've tried to do this here and there again. The Bulls didn't get any better. It was a lateral roster movement. Yeah, sure, adding Gorgon Dragic and Andre Drummond, yada yada yada. Been the same season, been more or less the same. You're only getting DeMar DeRozan mid-range jumpers. That's all we're getting so far. So as long as if he's only dropping 30 a game, we're not winning games. He needs to drop 48, 50 a night in order to do that. I don't see him, like I said, I don't see the Bulls realistically getting into any sort of playoff run. They can go on a streak. They can be sure win some games, win a lot of games in a row. It's not going to be able to sustain that in a playoff setting against, a team like the Mavericks. We did just beat the Mavericks. We didn't have Luka. The Mavericks didn't have Luka, but against
Oh,
the
they didn't beat the
Mavericks or
Mavericks.
Golden State, yeah, exactly, or even against a team that is struggling like Golden State, we can't put up 7 games against them. We wouldn't be able to win 4 games against them in a 7-game series. So it's not good, not looking good right now. But the only thing that is, and that's exactly that. It's just it's weird. The Bulls are in a weird position still, where they're not good enough to play, championship contenders. They can be in the playoffs, and that's just a weird little purgatory state where they'll probably stay at. They're not going to be bad enough to get uh big high 1, 2, 3 overall spots in the draft. So they're going to be lingering at the 14th overall, 15th overall, 10th overall, something like that, and have a good enough roster to be competable or hopefully that was the
Competitive.
word. Competitive, yeah.
Yeah.
They can stay in games, actually win games more often than not. But it's exactly that. We either want to tank and shell it all out and lose, or let's put it all together and actually go get something. I don't think the Bulls are good enough at that point to do so. We could do that with a ton of trade rumors that I see every single time I log onto my Facebook. Every time I go onto my Twitter, I see constantly. And the big one is always the Bulls getting Russell Westbrook and their first round picks in 2025 and 2027, and us, the Bulls, sending off basically the same package I always see is Vooch, DeMar DeRozan, and then sometimes either Io DeSumo and Kobe White. Not very often do I see Levine in these ideas. Not very often do I see us like trading away picks and stuff like that, which is good, which I wouldn't want that to happen. The only thing that's taken away from that is I think the front office guys has said there's been no talk, there's been zero interest in getting or receiving Russell Westbrook in any sort of trade talk, which that's good. I don't really want him. I don't think the Bulls Nation would really want him in any sort of aspect. A lot of people have considered him a cancer when it comes to winning ball games and having a winning mentality in a franchise. So while I want the Bulls to do something, I would love for them to kind of just blow this up. I know it would break a lot of hearts, and a lot of like tough guys are like, hey, they can still do this, man. They got a good enough roster. I'm sorry. I don't think DeMar and Vooch are the guys. And if they're offering first round picks for these 30-plus-year-olds, let's do it. Pull the trigger, man. I mean, let's just do it. Blow it up. We're not, like I just said, I don't feel like they're winning a championship here anytime soon. Send them off somewhere that they will. Let's get some trade. Let's get some draft stock back to either of these teams. maybe in a year or two, yeah, they are going to be bad because it just blows up in their face and they're just not as good as they are because they're trying to rely on 35-year-olds to get them to the promised land. So I'm more than okay with getting first round picks, trading Vucevic, trading even DeMar DeRozan. Personally, I want to keep Zach. I think he's one of the better guys. We should have just built around him from the get go and not really so much rely on DeMar DeRozan. I feel like it should be flipped, but that's just me. And then I feel like we should keep Ayo DeSumo, and everybody else can just go. Everybody else is on the table, ready to go. That's just my mind in terms of like getting another player back. I don't care. I want trade. I want draft stock. I want draft value for the very reason. So we can just blow it up, tank it up, stink it up, and get some good draft picks. That's just me. I know again, it's probably not a very popular opinion when it comes to when it comes to a hardo Bulls fan or someone that wants to win now. I'm sorry. I just realistically in my mind, you're with the team, the way that they've lost, the way that they just can't sustain like big wins and whatever. Again, I look a little silly talking again, like they just had a big win against the Mavs, but like you just said, they weren't really the Mavs. They played without Luka. So I don't think the Bulls can do it. I don't think they have enough to get over that hump. I mean, one or two more players right now, I'm sure, but I don't know what we could do to acquire said acquisition. So a bunch of people saying we're get Westbrook and some draft picks. Probably a bunch of people want to get Kevin Durant for a whole haul of players going to the Nets. I don't want to really either of those. I just want first round picks. So if you had any thoughts on that, anything really on that, I was
Yeah,
basically done.
anything to get Vucevic, that overgrown fucking soccer player, off this team, I'll be happy with. Because if that dude wasn't 7 feet tall, he'd be in the fucking World Cup playing for whoever the fuck right now. Because that dude is a big fucking pussy. I agree. Maybe build around the young guys. Io. I can't believe Kobe White's still on this fucking Bulls team. Build around Io, Patrick Williams, Lamar, Zach Levine. That shows how much I fucking watch basketball. And I could give two shits too, but I mean, just from paying attention to where they are and where they are in the standings and how they're playing, I agree. They're not competing anytime soon anyway. And if they do sneak into the playoffs, they're going to get bounced by whoever the fuck they play in the first round, just like they did last year. So, yeah, I no. I mean, I'm all for getting rid of some of these big names for draft picks.
Yeah, you just get it. I mean, I don't really think they're eating away any money or anything like that. In my mind, like we kind of lost the Vucevic trade at this point, the draft picks and the guys that they were able to get from what we were able to send the Magic. They've been able to turn it into some pretty good things. Wendell Carter Jr. isn't really that bad. He's basically been 1-1. What Vucevic has done over here, Wendell Carter Jr. has basically done over there. So I don't know. And maybe losing a little bit of offense, but when you're losing there, you're gaining in defense with Wendell Carter Jr., which I always argue is what you want out of a big man. But again, that's just me. If I'm just being old school, I suppose, being like that. Uh, Whatever. That's just the way that the Bulls are. Again, if some people want to hate on it or whatever, that's just it is what it is. That's just my take on the Bulls. They kind of lateral movement, if not falling back and back and back, and that's just not good. Did you want to talk some quick MLB, or did you want to just wrap it up with some quick wrestling? So I only had a couple more minutes left on the
Oh,
clock.
well, yeah, let's wrap. We could save the MLB for Wednesday. I mean, we could
Yeah,
always do that. It's not the biggest,
yeah. I don't think
not
any
the biggest
blockbuster
thing of
moves
concern.
really.
Yeah.
I mean Chris Bassett going to the Blue Jays. Okay, and then Sean Murphy going to where you said the
Sean
Mets?
Murphy going to the Braves.
Oh, the
Sean Murphy
Braves.
going to the
See,
Braves. Wilson Contreras' little brother William going to Milwaukee. Actually, a three-way trade between the A's, the Braves, and Milwaukee. A bunch of different moves. A couple top 10 prospects being moved. So,
okay.
biggest thing, yeah. Sean Murphy from the A's going to the Braves, and that's just man, that fucking just like it was last year. The NL East is going to be fun to watch. That Braves team's still
Oh,
going to be oh holy shit, they're going to be a fucking they're going to be a tank next year.
and then I think I saw Sean Mania to the Giants for 2 years. That was the other
Ooh, I
one.
didn't see that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and
Yeah,
take a gander.
Chris Bassett too to the Blue Jays. I mean, they're going to have a great 1, 2, 3 with
Yeah.
Gossman, Alek Manoah. and now Chris Bassett. That's going to be a good 1, 2, 3 for that rotation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, any if we'll hang on to those, any other probably big moves, I'm sure we'll get into those on the Wednesday episode. Might maybe just depending on how the schedule goes, might be a live one. We'll keep you
Yeah.
in the know. We'll see how that see like I said, we'll see how that unfolds come Wednesday. If you want to, yeah, we'll wrap it up with some quick wrestling. They had Final Battle go on at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. The 0 hour started. Like I said, won't deep dive too much into the Final Battle itself. I myself just didn't get into it. I know you so much high praise for this. I of course I couldn't stay off social media, just how it is. So I was just naturally spoiled myself of who won, but I didn't see any like highlights. I didn't see any moves. I may have saw a punch or two here and there. Some people were bleeding. So again, I heard this was a stellar 5-star pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was,
Everyone
dude.
killed it. Like you said, maybe basically everything besides the first match, which I don't even know which it was, but the double dog collar, the Ocho versus Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Jericho versus Claudio for the title. That one went off. You said Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia was amazing. I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep my eye open for
that was
all of
beautiful.
them.
That was a great match. The only one that I didn't like it was Blake Christian and AR Fox against Roosh and his brother Dralistico. That's the one that had
Okay,
it had a weird ending, and I'm
okay.
guessing
I'll have to.
someone fucked it up. Someone
I'll
fucked
keep my
something
eye
up.
out for that one. Okay,
Yeah, and I think that
definitely.
was the one that started off the pay-per-view. But yeah, we'll talk more once you watch this. Samoa Joe, Juice
Oh
Robinson,
yeah.
they beat the shit out of each other. FTR and the Briscoes, you gotta watch it. There was one spot in this, and I'm not gonna ruin it. Maybe you've seen it on social media or something. There's one spot where someone's on a fucking the top rope and something happens, and it was something I've never seen before, and everyone was going, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" It was fucking insane.
Yeah.
The main
I just
event,
heard that.
Jericho and
Oh, God. God.
the main event with Jericho and Claudio, that was a great, back and forth match. Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia, that was just great technical wrestling from the beginning into the end of that match. But honestly, my favorite match of the night, and I don't know why. It was just a very entertaining match. Dalton Castle and the boys versus the Embassy
Oh,
with
nice.
Brian Cage that for the 6-man ROH
Nice.
championships. It was the first of all the beginning of the match was hilarious, and then just it was nonstop action. I like the trios matches. It's something
Yeah.
fresh. It's something I've never really been experienced to. Growing up, there was no such things as fucking trio championships matches in WWE, and
Yeah.
now it's big in AEW, big in ROH. So I'm a fan of these, and surprisingly, I'm a big fan of Dalton Castle. I like the guy. I think he's funny. He's a great entertainer, and he's a good wrestler too. So that was a fun match.
I can only
This whole card
imagine
was
Brian
great.
Cage probably took the boys and tossed them around
Yeah,
like fucking rag
yeah, he
dolls. So I'm
did.
sure
They
that was
all
that
three of
spot.
them did. All
And
three
then,
of them did, and
yeah.
this was just a great card, top to bottom.
And then, yeah, just go drawing back to the only thing I saw on the double dog collar match, just the final spot or just the final, like, everyone's raising their hand. I can only imagine that's probably going to go down as like a very, very nice picture and one of those where everyone has those like season 1, 2, and 3 or like the first movie, the sequel, and the prequel or the third one when it's all
Yeah.
like an artist drawing. It's just going to be an awesome picture throughout the entire time. It's like different parts of a horse where it's like just the ass and the middle part
Oh
of it
yeah,
and the
yeah.
face. Like this is just going to be a beautiful, majestic horse, like from beginning to end. Maybe because it was so hardcore, they're probably going to add like flames and metal like armor to the horse and whatnot for flames coming out of its eyes and face. But I heard this was just again one of the in terms of a 1, 2, 3 it's type match where you've had the first one, the second one, and third one, just a trio of matches between the same four guys. This was just a great conclusion, and
Yeah, it
I hope the
was.
little not maybe not cryptic, the that was all, thank you for everything from from Dax
I think he
Harwood
tweeted,
tweet.
yeah, he said it's over or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I don't think it is necessarily. It might just be setting up for an actual like AEW tag team title run. I don't think they're gonna slowly lose all their titles. I also heard there also is rumors that as soon as this AEW contract expires, that they were gonna be just hitting the indies slash maybe going to New Japan for a little bit, not really gonna be committing to any big company, i.e. WWE and AEW. So keeping it light on that. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I want to just see FTR all the time. So if I can just get them on my TV as often as possible, or the big breaking news from after this media scrum was we might be able to get into the or not might we are going to be getting weekly Ring of Honor TV. If you have the Honor Club, the Honor Club is back. This was for those of you who don't know, the Honor Club was basically the on-demand system, the WWE network, but for Ring of Honor. It's just called the Honor
Oh,
Club.
okay.
Yeah, you can just go back, look through the archives, watch all the great matches, watch the matches when they used to do shows at just like the high school gymnasium and whatever. You can see all the old CM Punk matches, see all the old Samoa Joe matches, AJ Styles, Adam Cole, so on and so forth. Just go through all the archives. Finally going to be back and available again. I think only for the $9.99 that it was going for earlier when it was available. So keeping it nice, keeping it very affordable for the wrestling fan. That's fun to see. And like I said, the updated the boost, being able to get live Ring of Honor weekly television, just broadcasted through it, is going to be so much fun, and it's just going to be huge opportunity for AEW slash Ring of Honor slash just Tony Khan, getting all these wrestlers out there, finally putting out their Ring of Honor product in some sort of fashion, getting these storylines and guys out and guys and gals ready to go. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to be subscribing as soon as I can. Yeah, and then there was actually one other thing from the media scrum, unless you had something on the just on the Honor Club news.
No, I think that's it. And as far as the pay-per-view and that was just a must watch. I'm glad it was during the day because I had plans Saturday night. I had nothing going during the day, and a good way to fucking pass 3.5, 4 hours there with some wrestling. So I'm yeah, from top to bottom, even the 0 hour was great matches all throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just this final thing, just going to wrap this thing up because I can hear the dinner bell, hear the food ringing. This last little thing, like I said, kind of a big one, kind of a big like, hey, this is kind of for sure gonna happen. Forbidden Door 2 was brought up during the media scrum, and it was basically all but yes was confirmed that there's gonna be a Forbidden Door
Ooh,
2. Tony Khan said. Like I said, didn't say no. I don't think he said yes, but he was like basically planning on having it ready to go. So can't wait for that. Sure, I'm sure information is gonna be ready down the line. But yeah, again, just going off old storylines from maybe last year, maybe getting some old guys coming back from injuries and stuff like that.
want some
But
more Jay White. I love
yeah,
the Switchblade. That dude is awesome.
yeah, Jay White's awesome, and that's exactly that. When it comes around that Forbidden Door time, that's when all those New Japan guys started infiltrating AEW, and we started getting some really cool matches on Dynamite and Rampage. So love
Who's
seeing
the other
that.
guy I liked? Who's the other fucking
Minoru Suzuki, maybe, I don't know.
no,
Ishii.
the guy who was beefing with Kenny Omega.
Oh, I mean that was Jay
That
White.
fucking British guy.
Oh,
His
Will
first move was
Ospreay.
the elbow.
Will
Yeah, Will
Ospreay.
Ospreay. That dude's
Yeah.
fucking awesome too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure that was also some sort of talk that Kenny Omega a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago was like, "Hey, I'm gonna try and win back the New Japan
Oh, did
American
he?
title back from
Ooh.
Will Ospreay, something down the line." So they're thinking Wrestle Kingdom 17. They're also talking about Sasha Banks showing up at that show. So again, that's just all rumors and spoilers and stuff like that.
I
So
think she's coming this Wednesday.
I don't know. I think that was the
She's
thing.
gonna
I
be
mean, that
Soraya's partner. Watch.
I mean, that would be the encouragement. If it could be both, it could be a little bit of New Japan. New Japan here, and then you get slowly start talking to more AEW people, and then sure enough, you're just on Dynamite, and that's just how it goes. I know there's a million
Like the
people on the
fuse.
there's a million people on that AEW roster, but adding Sasha Banks would be humongous for them. So,
Oh
or well,
yeah,
however she's
humongous.
going by, the Viv, I don't even, I'm not
Money.
even
So something with money had to do with. I know she
yeah, I think
trademarked a
so.
couple names, and it was
Whatever.
like
She's
all
Snoop
money
Dogg's
shit.
cousin, so
Yeah, fuck it.
whatever. Yeah, if you're all good on that, I think that basically wrapped up everything. That was a pretty solid 145. I'm already forgetting 145. I think
Yeah,
so.
145. That was a good one in the fucking
Awesome,
books.
awesome.
Bears, didn't lose this week. Holy fuck, that's great. But they're gonna lose this week, and we'll
Yeah,
talk about that on 146.
and I know I'm sorry, Troy. I'm doing this again to you. I'm gonna have to postpone your call till Wednesday. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Please just don't hit me. Thank you for tuning in as always. Alan, still take your notes though. Alan, you still have to take your notes, regardless of me not playing Troy's audio. You still need to take notes. So do that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for technically
You
being
think
an
they get the
international
you think they
listener.
get the Degenerates podcast in Germany? That's
No,
what I
that's
was
what I was
gonna
going to
say.
say, Alan. I made sure that Alan listened out there so we can say we have international
We're
degenerates
expanded.
podcast.
Watch out, Putin.
We're
We're coming.
worldwide. We're just like Deion Sanders. We're coming. We're coming everywhere. So that's exactly what we're doing. Again, thank you. Episode 145 in the books. Take care. Like and subscribe. Share us around. Points bet code
Yeah.
SYS9. Do all the usual stuff. Until next
Yeah.
time.
Rest in peace, Drew Brees. We'll see
Uh,
you guys.
we'll see you when we can talk Bears again for 146. So until then, we'll see you.
See you guys later.